Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Late model open series time. South Boston Speedway finishing out the season. Probably one of my worst short tracks. I guess it's a good thing I caught a pretty weak strength of field. We are car number 3. Decent amount of cars, just not a lot of top end drivers. So see what we can do in qualifying.
Pit lane speed limit is 35
See if
miles
I
per
can
hour.
put myself
The pit exit is
anywhere
clear.
near the
Good now.
front.
All right, Jake. We've got
Trying to
2
get close to
laps.
that
Let's get
personal
this.
best that I set in practice. Get the run to the line here out of 4. Make sure we not overdrive turn 1. Didn't take quite as late of an entry into 1 as I'd like. It's really not a very good first lap, kind of killed that run. Probably should have just scrapped lap 1 and gone for the run again. So see what we can do, see if we can go any faster on lap 2. Terrible entry into 1 again.
Last lap was at 15.
Although that first one was good enough for pole right now. Shows you how weak of a field it is when I drove that terribly. Second lap's gonna be about half a tenth faster. This into the 4 is not a great effort, but good enough, I suppose. Starting on the pole will be somewhat important. Oh, 600ths faster or so. Looks like the 13 and the 10 are the only two left to turn time, and 13 hasn't gotten in, and the 10
That's the end of the session. You're on
elected
pole.
not
Well
to turn
done.
time, so take that. Hopefully we can just drive away. Hopefully keep a somewhat easy run. Setups will be on up for this week. Link in the description box if you want to grab them. Give everybody a minute to jump in for the grid, and then get paint schemes refreshed. Looks like a few more cars jumping in. I struggle really bad with driving to South Boston. I tend to not be very consistent. I tend to torch right fronts here. I'm sure there's a lot of people that can drive this setup even smoother and make it even quicker than what I ran with it, but paint schemes refreshed, then we'll jump in. Just missed the time slot for a good field. Ran one race before this, kind of to get some data on the setup, finishing building things for it, and this is the one they decided to make the actual race attempt, and unfortunately, like I said, just not a real strong field. 15 cars, 14 are going to be on the track. Again, we are car number 3, so do what we can. Pull up a session best select, fire the car up, get ready to roll off. 50 laps.
Pole position.
Just try to close out late model season as best as I can. Win would be nice. I know it's a weaker field, but I guess we'll take whatever momentum we can get right now.
Stay behind the pace car. The
Get some
inside
heat
lane.
into the tires, as well as the brakes. Check tires and fuel. And hope that we don't have any wrecks that clog up the track. South Boston's really narrow, so happened in ARCA. I believe it was a late model race in real life it actually happened in. So that could be the one thing that derails anything. We're also going to watch for people diving to the inside into the corners. Probably the other thing that could cause some issues. Hopefully this goes more like the ARCA race. Qualified on pole and just drove away with it. But we'll see. It's short track racing. Anything can happen. These cars going to be pulling off here shortly. Be getting ready to go. These car is
Jake,
off.
Get ready.
Up through the gears. Into turn 1. One's going to slide in behind us. Got a good restart on the outside. Hopefully we can start to pull away. 4's going to start to challenge him. 2's going to run to the inside of the 4 back into 1. I am going to start focusing out the front to make sure I hit my marks. Going to be smooth on the throttle out of the corners. Let it roll the center a little bit. Get slowed down, but not slam the brakes into the corners.
The guy behind has just done a 15.66.
let it rotate in the center of the corner off throttle. It's really the key to keeping the right front wear down, as well as
You're leading. That's the fastest lap
being
of the
able to
race.
put down a
That was at
fast lap.
15.59.
Starting to pull away from the one a little bit.
We're quickest right
Just
now.
really
The
focusing
time was
on my marks.
15.63.
Looks like we got some lap cars showing up on the relative. And there's a couple parked. One parked on the inside wall. I think one was on pit road. And now short track racing with lap cars starts. We got one up ahead that was blinking. It'll be interesting when we get to them. More smoke there on the front stretch. Just want a stress-free race.
Keep it up.
Almost got it in the wall. Had to blip the throttle there to avoid the wall. Gap to the one stands at about half a second. It's about half a second separating
15.75.
each of the front four guys. Hoping that we'll be able to open up the gap as the race continues on. Not get as tight throughout the run as the other drivers. Keep the pace up a little bit more. But consistent laps is also what I want to do. Get the sun coming up. These early morning races are not all that realistic in terms of a time. Does provide something a little different as you're seeing the sun come up and the track could potentially get a little bit warmer. Although I think with how short this race is, you're not going to see much of a change at all. Just the sun glare.
Consistency. Keep them coming. The gap to Lauren behind is increasing. It's now 1.18.
2 is able to get by the 1. Gap's at 1.1 now. Not sure if there was contact. Was looking out front more at the 9 and the 7. 9's going to go high out of 2. Thank you to him.
Still there.
Work by him
Still
here
there.
through 3 and 4.
Outside line's clear.
Clear him in the middle of the corner. 7 will be the next one. Lost a little bit of time that last lap, but that was due to getting around the 9.
Time was at 15.77. The gap to Lauren behind is increasing. It's now
7 goes high into 3. Thank you to him.
Clear.
Alright, clean track for a little bit till the next car. Assuming no wrecks happen. Looks like the 11's the next one. Wish I could have had the setup ready and had things worked out to be able to run the first race at the beginning of the week. Would have been a good test. Hopefully for Season 4 I'll be able to do that more regularly. Really start putting myself up against the best in the late model series. Starting to catch the 11. It's about half a straightaway to a straightaway ahead.
That lap was at 15.85. The gap to Lauren behind is increasing. It's now 1.57.
Gap's almost to a second and a half back to the 2. The 1 is falling further back. The 4 got by him.
That lap time was
So we'll have to look and see if it was
16.00.
contact or if the 1's just falling off harder. Just a little wide there out of 4 for my comfort. Just gotta wait a little longer on the throttle. We're starting to see a little bit of wear on the right front. 8's low on the backstretch into 3. Working on the
Track temps
11, catching up to
increasing.
him
It's
here
now
in the middle of 3 and 4.
82
He goes
Right
high
side.
end of 1, thank you to him.
Still there. Clear high.
Just able to clear him there off of 2.
The gap to
Gap's
Oren
just
behind
over
is
1.5 now.
1.68.
$25. Halfway done this time by. Seems like it's settled down a little bit since we saw the smoke there early on.
Okay, Jake, you're halfway home. Got plenty of fuel. That lap time was 15.93.
See
The
the
gap
sun
to
peek up
Oren behind is
over
now
the wall in turn
1.76.
3. Will be the next one we come up to.
That was 15.93.
Gap's almost to 2 seconds now. Back to the 2. Kind of overshot the middle of 3 and 4. Picked up the throttle too early. Really bad. 3 and 4 hurt the lap time. Catching the 14 here. It's going to push wide in the middle of 3 and 4. We got one car sitting on the inside. That was the 7.
On your right.
Take it
Clear
easy.
outside.
14. He goes
How
high.
about
Thank
your-
you to him.
The gap to Oren
I think I
behind
caught
is
him a
now
little bit faster
Clear
than he
high.
expected there in the middle of 1 and 2. Thought he was going to push up a little bit more there. Able to stay off of him though. Just passed lap 30, 19 to go. Closer to the final quarter of the race.
You've just done a 60.
Made the camera offset adjustment in this to move the view back a little bit. I feel like it's helped in almost every car that I've done. Truck already had it done, but I made the adjustment in the ARCA in this car as well. I think it's really helped, so I'm going to continue testing it in all the other cars that I run, whether it be oval or road or whatnot. I think it's really helped improve my driving some. I don't know if I've necessarily gotten that much faster. I feel like the consistency's gotten a little better.
60.03.
And I know I'm still lacking from a technical aspect in terms of my driving, the inputs. The consistency can improve even more, so I want to put in a lot of work during week 13,
Just done a
not run as many official
60.06.
races. Hopefully see some good starts to season 4, try to take it to that next level. Really try to improve and be able to hang with a lot of the faster drivers. A slow car down low, that was the 9, he stays low. We got the 8 moving high for the 6. See where we catch the 8. He
Right
goes
side.
way high in the 1, almost got into the
Clear
back of
high.
him. He's kind of just turned right.
Current is reading you in. The gap's now 1.80.
4's gotten by the 2, he's starting to close up. We've only got 12 laps to go, and he's got almost 2 seconds. Close up on us. Really feel like I'm kind of just driving it like 90% right now. Kind of similar to what I did in the ARCA race. Overshoot 3 there a little bit. He's pulled away from the 2, has about a second on the 2. Catching the 6 here.
Well, that was a 16.09.
It's going to go high into 30. Thank you to him. One thing I will say is the lap cars have been really respectful, really clean in this. I think the 14 was the only one that didn't move right away, and I think I just kind of caught him a little faster than he expected, but they've all been giving me the inside as quickly as they can. 4 picks up another 10th.
The lap time was at 16.05.
Got 7 to go this time by. We're gonna throttle. The car's getting just a little bit tighter, so gonna need to wait just a little bit more. Throttle. Out of tune for overshot 1 there. Pushed up wide in the center. 10 pushes wide. He gets the wall out of the exit of 4.
That was at 16.14.
Have to keep an eye out for that in case he bounces back off of it. Four's got the gap down to 1.4. We also have 5 to go.
The gap to Current behind is now 1.45.
May not be the fastest car on the track now, but 10 goes high first.
Yeah,
Thank you
right
to
back.
him.
Still there. Clear of 5.
Also feeling like got a big enough lead. 3 seconds or 3 laps to go. Just under a second and a half.
16.13.
Might be catching, but it's gonna obviously probably not happen. I think I was just able to build up a big enough lead. It took him long enough to get through the field. And probably could have pushed a little bit harder. White flag this time by. Shouldn't have any more lap traffic to deal with. Clean track up in front.
One more lap. Keep it together. We'll win this. That last lap was at 16.03. You're matching race pace. This is good.
Alright, grab the win. Kind of expected to. Given the pace, was going to be pretty disappointed if I didn't get it, but
Absolutely flawless.
good race to get some confidence back in. And setup felt pretty good. Felt really balanced. Didn't really get too tight. I mean, like, you could feel a little bit of a tightness, but I don't think it was ever actually, like, too tight. I just needed to make those adjustments to wait on the throttle a little bit more in the center of the corners. Take that. Tires were 86, 87, so a little bit more temp pressure in the right front, but wear-wise pretty close, and left sides were pretty similar, so pretty happy with that. Like I said, the balance felt really good. Take a look at what did happen out there. Grab the beginning of the race. Right, so the 1 gets a little tap from the 4. 4 gets tapped from behind as well when it's stacked up. And the 4 gets loose. That allows the 2 on by, as well as the 5. So the fact that the 4 recovered from that and was running us down is really impressive. Got the 12 behind. Blinks. I think the 12 is going to blink again. Alright, the 1's going to just barely get the wall on the backstretch. 9 blinks. Gets on the inside of the 7. Can't tell if the blinking caused him to spin around, but he goes around. 14 gets him. 8 also gets him. 7's around off of 4. He's sitting there. There's where you see him sitting on the inside of the track. 12 just barely gets the wall again. 12's going to drag the wall again. Nope. 12's going to blink. 15. Tiny bit of a wall tap there. 7's going to push wide out of 4. Gets it, almost climbs the wall. 2 gets by the 1, hits the wall. 1 gets into the back of him. So that's what allowed the 2-by. Let's rewind that and watch that pass, since I did not see what happened. Go back a little bit, watch this whole sequence. So one's trying to take a little bit of a higher entry, sees the 2, 2 kind of throws it in, slides up a little bit, but keeps it off of him. 1 gave him room too. So clean racing. 2's working the bottom, kind of drifting up, almost diamonding the corners in a way. It's definitely got the speed on the inside lane, and it's pretty tough to run on the outside. 1 lets the 2 by, and then that's where that contact happens. So I think the 1 just realized the 2 was a little bit faster, chose to let him by to try to stay ahead of the 4 rather than potentially get freight trained and lose another spot. And then the 4 just drives into the back of the 1. 1 does a good job saving it, not overcorrecting. Let's back up and see how the 4 got by the 1, since we saw the 4 get into him. Alright, so this is going to be where the 4 gets into the back of the 1. I think he had the benefit of the 4 kind of shooting up the track, which kind of kept pressure on the back of the bumper of the 1, so it kept him a little bit straighter. He just pushes wide there into 3. The 4 is going to try to get the inside. 1's now going to have to do the same thing he did with the 2. 4 just dives it in a lot deeper. 1's going to try to get the runoff, just cannot get to the throttle early enough. It's going to allow the 4 to get on by, and the 1's going to maybe give him just a little bit of a shot, let him know. Wasn't too pleased. 5 works to the inside of the 1 with this as well. There's really good battles going on back here. So then I got the 9, who's a lap car. 1 just gets into the 9, knocks the 9 off the wall down the track. Just really slows him down. Then you see, looked like the 5 got loose behind as well. Let's go back and look at. I want to see where. Alright, so that's where the 1 knocks the 5 out of the way, or the 9 out of the way. Okay, so the 1 just, 5 got loose on the bottom. Didn't quite go around. I didn't know if he went around. 8's running the low side. Not sure what's going on there. 15 just overdrives it, gets right into the back of the 7. Not sure if that was intentional or not. 15 gets the wall again. 14. Gonna get the wall off of turn 4. 9's got damage on pretty much every corner. Blows up. 12's going to get the wall off of 4. This is where the 10 got the wall just in front of us. Got a little, probably tight, loose condition there. Caused that. 7 drags the wall. 9's got a fresh car and wants to put more dings on that. 12's kind of stuttering, blinks. 2 drives high. 1's going to try to work on the inside. 2 kind of just drives down into the 1 out of the corner. Should have realized when he left the gap open like that he was not going to be able to go that way, and that's the end of the race, I believe. So, yep, good job by the 4 to recover after that early deal. Got to 1.35 seconds behind, so not a bad job by him. 7 were able to finish on the lead lap. Take a look at the results. Shouldn't be a great iRacing gain with how weak of a field it was, but 2 split race 1873 strength of fields, like I said, pretty weak. I usually like to see the fields at 27, 2800 or higher. A little bit of safety rating gain, 0.11, just under 2.5, under 2.4. So try to get it about 3.0 before the end of week 13, license up. And I guess 57, not a terrible gain. So I gained a little bit out of the test race that I did in the late model. Finished 3rd in that one, and not a bad run this time. Obviously, from a points perspective, not very good. 112, not real good, but I don't ever run for points. I can't run enough of the top split races consistently each week. My schedule varies too much. I have other things going on, so I just run for running, within in the individual races and trying to gain I rating more than points in a series at all. So looks like we were the only ones to run a 5. Yeah, I'll take that. And 4 was definitely catching us on the back end, but still felt like we had a pretty quick car overall. So it's about as good of a race as I could get. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. We had some lap traffic to contend with, not really too many battles in terms of trying to defend the lead, but it's a good momentum builder. Good to kind of reset everything, get a race in. I don't like to run these weak fields all the time. I usually like to see stronger ones, challenge myself against the best, or guys that are a lot better than me. But um, yeah, sometimes you got to take what you get based on the time slots I can run. So good to try to execute. I felt like I drove fairly consistent, fairly clean for the most part. So obviously still got a lot to work on to bridge those gaps of the laps where I don't drive consistently, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. So we'll take that. Love to hear from you guys. Let me know any feedback on the race if you love seeing this. Probably going to keep doing late model open series next season as well. So hope you guys are enjoying those. And until the next one, I hope all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.